Project Hail Mary is peak cinema. I've seen Project Hail Mary twice now. I saw it a day before it released in theaters, and then I saw it when it was released in theaters, and oh my god, it's seriously one of the greatest movies I've seen in my life. It is one of my new favorite films of all time. It is that good. Now, as my audience knows that I love Ryan Gosling. Ryan Gosling is my favorite actor, and I obsess over him, not in an unhealthy way, but I love Ryan Gosling. Not just because he's a heartthrob, but because he puts in incredible performances. Every single film that he does something new, nuanced, and just so compelling with his character. And Project Hail Mary is no different. Honestly, it's probably one of his greatest performances of all time. Project Hail Mary is about this guy, Ryland Grace, played by Ryan Gosling, who is sent into space against his will to save their dying son. This is when he comes across this alien creature that he names Rocky, who is also trying to save his dying son. So they work together to try and save both their planets. And good lord, is this movie just packed with awesomeness. Cinematography is beautiful. It's like one of the most gorgeous films that I've seen in at least a decade. I think that Ryan Gosling is doing something so fun and so heartfelt with his performance that I shed tears in it. Like, it's not necessarily a sad film. Like, there are sad parts, but it's not necessarily like a sad film. And Ryan Gosling even talks about it in his interviews about the film, is that he thinks that we focus too much on like post-apocalyptic or apocalyptic type stories, and they really like focus on those emotional and sad parts of it. But what I loved about this movie is that it was emotional, and there were moments that I cried, like very specific moments that really just dive into the human condition, that dive into just the way that people treat each other as friends. It's just a very beautiful movie, and it had me crying. And even some scenes that are just absolutely incredible, like the astrophage scene with the red glowing lights. That scene in theaters, my mouth was just glued to the floor. I was just like in awe of that scene. And that's practical. Everything that you see in this film, I say everything because there is some visual effects shots, but like Rocky, that's a puppet, and all of the lighting and all of the machinery that you've seen, it is real. It's real. And it's all done in camera. Like that scene with Ryan Gosling with the astrophage and the red lights, that's all real. Except Ryan Gosling wasn't seeing any of that. He was just acting out, floating in space and trying to have his moment as an actor and for his character. And then while they were filming that, the directors talked about how they were doing like this like fishnet kind of thing with lighting that was projected onto what they were filming, yet Ryan Gosling couldn't see any of that happen, but it was all happening in camera. It is so impressive. Greg Frasier, the cinematographer on this film, who also did the Dune films, won his Oscar for Dune Part 1. He also did a film that I really love called Foxcatcher. Absolutely amazing film that's shot beautifully as well. But he does something so phenomenal with his cinematography, with the way that he shoots film. And he does it in such a way that just blows my mind every single time. Like, I went into this film knowing that it was going to be good, that it was going to look beautiful. But when I was sitting there in theaters, this is a film that reminds you why we love cinema. This is a film that I would think that like, oh yeah, this movie came out in the 90s, and this is what people look up to as far as like what they want to make in the future for their filmography. But no, it came out now, and we're getting this stuff now. It is absolutely incredible. Phil Lord and Christopher Miller are absolute machines of filmmakers. They are the ones responsible for making the Into the Spider-Verse movie, Across the Spider-Verse. They didn't direct it or write it, but they produced it, and they are just so innovative when it comes to filmmaking. It's quite incredible what they are able to do. And apparently they were actually supposed to make the Han Solo movie, and they were in the process of making that, but then they were let go with creative differences. And this was that, which is actually why they took a break from making live action, because they made the 21 Jump Street and 22 Jump Street films, and that's when they took a break from live action, was after the whole entire Solo thing. and MGM and Amazon were like, hey, we'll give you this money to make this film. And, they came on with a $250 million budget and decided, yeah, we're actually going to take this budget and use it to our advantage and give people what they want with this book and this story. And they did it so, like, I want to say they did it effortlessly, because it feels like this movie just feels so light. Like, it's just so absolutely incredible. It moves fast. By the way, it's a 2.5-hour movie, nearly 2 hours and 40 minutes. And it goes by so quick. It goes by so quick. When we watched it, I watched it the first time with my brother, and by the time it was over, I was thinking to myself, did I look at it wrong? Was it only an hour and 40 minutes? No, it's 2.5 hours, and it goes by so quick. It's so amazing. It's so amazing. It is so incredible. I could talk about this movie forever. I love this movie so much. It was so freaking good. I love how Rocky was an actual puppet, so that Ryan Gosling could actually have someone to communicate with, to be physical with, as far as being in the same scene together. So he wasn't just talking to a tennis ball, so that he could be as true to his character as possible. It's just like so amazing. It's so incredible seeing films like this. It's so great seeing films that are given big budgets like this and actually using it to their advantage, not just like making crap because they know it's going to make money. Like, these kind of films are a gamble, especially when you're making an adaptation of a book, a widely popular book. But when you're giving a film that's not a franchise or not a sequel, a $250 million budget, that is a gamble. Any film that you give that much money to is a gamble. But especially a film like this. And the fact that it's already made $140 million, it's probably already made more than that by now, but $140 million in its opening weekend is absolutely insane. It is absolutely insane. And what's awesome is that it made $80 million domestically in the opening weekend and like $60 million internationally, so in total $140 million. But The Martian, that came out, I think a little over a decade ago. I think it was like 2015. I think, you can correct me on that. But that movie made $50 million domestically in its opening weekend and went on to make $630 million in its total gross. So if that's not a good sign to how much this movie's going to make, that means that this movie could genuinely make like $800 to $1 billion. And if it makes that much money, y'all, that's game changing. That is absolutely game changing. Now, I've already made a couple posts on my Instagram about how much I love this movie, but I genuinely think that this should be in the running for all of the Oscars next year. I know we have The Odyssey and Dune Part 3 still coming out, and as much as those movies are going to, deserve their Oscar nominations as well, this movie is game changing. This is something truly, truly special. It's a movie that I haven't seen one person talk bad about. I haven't seen one person talk bad. I've only seen one person give this a 3 out of 5 stars. I'm not going to name who it is, but I've only seen one person give it, and that's not even like a bad score. I have not seen one person talk bad about this movie at all, or have just like a different opinion. I've seen a couple people saying that space movies aren't their thing, but they still enjoyed it. That's amazing. That's absolutely incredible to have that many people love your film. It's not like a film that's divisive or that will divide audiences, as far as like you're either going to really love it or you're either going to really hate it. It's for every single audience. This film has everything that you would want in a film. It's absolutely perfection. This is like, I hadn't read the book, and I plan on reading it, and I plan on listening to the audiobook, because apparently the audiobook is amazing as well. But I wasn't like 100% sure as to how this movie was going to, like, how people were going to react to the movie. I wasn't like, since I didn't read the book, I didn't have that much to really look forward to as far as just it being a film. I was excited for that. But as far as knowing like what it was going to have with like people's reactions, I didn't know. And the fact that it's doing so good, the fact that people love it so much, I didn't even make the film. I didn't work on anything. I did do a partnership for the film, but it's so great seeing that people love this film and that people are going to the cinemas to see it. It's actually quite emotional seeing that many people going to the cinemas to see this movie. In my second showing, I went to go see it, not in IMAX, but I saw it on a big screen at my local theater that doesn't have IMAX, but they do their own thing like IMAX. The whole entire theater, it was like I don't even want to compare it to like Marvel or DC, but it was like a Marvel movie. Seeing that many people in theaters for a non-franchise, non-sequel film is just like, whoa. The power that Phil Lord and Chris Miller have is crazy. I am losing my words because of it, guys. I mean, I've talked nonstop for like probably almost 10 minutes about this movie. If this doesn't convince you to go see this movie, I don't even think I need to convince people to go see it. I think people are already seeing it for themselves, and that is so exciting to see. But guys, this film is perfection. This film is absolutely perfection. It is one of the greatest films that I've seen in my life, and I have never said that. Like, I have never said that about anything in recent years. In recent years, it is easily like in my top 5 favorite films of all time. It is just absolutely incredible, everyone. It is so good. It is so freaking good, and I can't wait to see its success. It's so awesome seeing a film like actually change people's perspective. I think this is going to be a monumental achievement in filmmaking history as to how much it's going to convince people to go back to the theaters, because I think a lot of people have been missing like that original like idea. And although this is an adaptation, it still falls under the original aspect of like the way that they're making the film, the way that it doesn't use any green screen or blue screen, or that it's using actual physical props for characters. It is absolutely 100% a masterpiece. It is just without question, it's going to end up being one of the greatest achievements in cinematic history. And it's so seeing these things unfold. Like, we're a part of this. We're a part of this film's history. It's so cool. I love this film so much. I have no like everything about this film is beautiful. The scene where Sandra Huller's character sings "Sign of the Times" by Harry Styles. Oh, come on. And apparently that scene wasn't even in the book. It was an original scene that they added. It's perfect. It is perfection. Also, she is a great actress. If you haven't seen Anatomy of a Fall, I definitely recommend. She was nominated for her performance in that film. She is absolutely incredible. I love her performance in this film as well, playing someone that is clearly someone that needs to tell people the truth, as far as like, yeah, you need to go into space and you're not gonna live, you're gonna die, and you're gonna stay out there, but you're gonna save the world. And her character is someone that knows that she has to tell them that, and you can really see that in her character, as far as like how monotone and how just like stone-faced that she is when having to tell people that kind of stuff. And Ryan Gosling, like I said near the beginning, he is doing something so incredible. And he's funny, he's compelling with his emotions. He is just, I have like every single good word that I could say about Ryan Gosling. And I think is it, I want to say David Ortiz. I think it's David Ortiz who is the puppeteer of Rocky. The really cool story about how they were like trying to figure out who was going to voice Rocky, because on set David Ortiz was talking to Ryan Gosling and speaking his lines so that Ryan Gosling had a speaking partner to, speak his lines. And Ryan Gosling was just like, well, I kind of have like, me and the, Ortiz, we've been getting along and that kind of, and that kind of stuff. And we've been making this good thing together. So they decided to just make David Ortiz the voice actor for Rocky. And he did a smash up job too. He did a bang up job. Actually, I'm going to check if that's David Ortiz for just 1 second. Be right back. I'm sorry, not David Ortiz. My mind's going a mile a minute. James Ortiz. I knew it wasn't David, but I needed to go with something. I am so sorry about that. James Ortiz. I completely discredit anything I just said when I said David Ortiz. I am so sorry about that. I had David on my mind, obviously. I don't know why. So I do apologize if you're watching this video. But James Ortiz is absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible as the voice of Rocky. And, this movie's so unique. It's so awesome. It's so original. It's just... I could go in circles talking about how much I love this movie, but there are just so many great scenes that I don't really want to like get into because I don't want to spoil it for you. Like, you really should just go see this movie on the biggest screen possible. But It's emotional, it's funny, it's lighthearted, it's it's easy to watch. I mean, it's just a film that just everyone can appreciate. And I think everyone has been appreciating it. So I'm just so over the moon excited for this film's success. And I've never been able to like say that to myself, that like I'm like super excited for this film's success. Like there hasn't been a film in recent years where I've thought to myself that I'm so excited. Like obviously I'm excited to see certain films like get a bunch of money, like Sinners. I was very excited to see that made $600 million, becoming one of the highest grossing R-rated films of all time. But I've never sat to myself to really just be like, I am so excited for this film's success. Like this is a film that deserves it. This film deserves the success. And it's getting it. It is getting it. It's, you know, it's made $140 million, and it's amazing to see. It's amazing to see. So please go see Project Hail Mary in theaters on the biggest screen possible. Please. I'm actually trying to, I'm going to try and like talk to IMAX about doing like if I could do like host a screening of this film in 70 millimeter, I would so love to do that. So I'm trying to do that. I doubt that it'll happen, but let's have high hopes, because I'm really trying to do that, because I would love to see this in 70 millimeter. IMAX, if you're watching this, I would love to host a screening of a 70 millimeter print of Project Hail Mary. It would just like, I would just like die a happy man. Please, please, please. But anyways, that brings you to the end of my review for Project Hail Mary, an absolute masterpiece in filmmaking. One of the greatest films that I've ever seen in my life, and you probably won't hear me say that about a new released film for a long time. But anyways, yeah, that brings you to the end of today's video. Thank you so much for sticking around to the end of it. I appreciate every single one of you. But remember, your movie moment is right around the corner. See you in the next video.